Hello, viewers. History has a way of crystallizing into a pattern that is repeated from one generation to the other for two reasons. Number one, when successive generations fail to learn from the history or from the lessons that history affords. Number two, when the current players in historical events approach history from the standpoint of emotions, sentiments, and assumptions rather than facts, objectivity, and purpose. An incident transpired in the last couple of days in the Idoma nation that, in my opinion, if it is not amicably resolved or put to rest, will further widen the cracks and the fault lines that are threatening the cohesion and brotherhood of the languages and tribes within the Benue South region. What is that incident? You recall that the Ochidam Agabaidu had made a proclamation banning the conferment of chieftaincy titles till further notice in all of the districts of Idoma land. And then an incident transpired at the grand finale of the 2025 Igede Agba celebration, where the Adira Onyegede conferred chieftaincy titles on prominent Igede sons and friends of the Igede nation. That was followed by another proclamation by the Ochidoma nullifying those chieftaincy titles that were conferred by Adira Onyegede. This has thrown especially the younger generation into confusion, and the social media has been agog with a lot of upsurge of emotions, grievances being expressed, while some people feel that that decision by Ochidoma nullifying the chieftaincy title is legitimate. Others feel it is an overreach or a demonstration of high-handedness as far as his authority over the Igede nation is concerned. I'm not here to talk about the legitimacy of that particular incident that has transpired between the two prominent traditional rulers. I am here to answer a big question. A question that, if particularly the younger generation understand, it will bring them to a point where they can better understand or appreciate what has bound the people group in the Benue South together. And we will understand this political and social affinity that we share historically. Once that understanding is in place, a lot of these emotions will be uncalled for. So I'm going to attempt to answer a question that is like an elephant in the room, that scholars, elites, traditional institutions, or political leaders have spoken only in whispers. And what is that question? Is Igede Idoma, or Igedes are not Idoma? As an answer to that, I will say Igedes are Idomas and Igedes are not Idomas. By that answer, I am not just making a play of words or massaging your emotions, neither am I creating a suspense in a speech. No. When you say Igedes are Idomas or Igedes are not Idoma, the first question we will attempt to answer is that, is Idoma a language that is spoken as in a dialect, or Idoma is a cosmopolitan arrangement of different languages who share common geographical and perhaps cultural resemblance and affinity? What is Idoma? First of all, I'd like to say that Idoma is not the name of a single progenitor or patriarch whose offsprings are the tribes within the Benue South region today. No, Idoma is not a single person or progenitor or patriarch of the people or languages in the Benue South. When you talk about Tiv, Tiv actually is the name of the progenitor or the patriarch of the Tiv nation. And he had two sons, Chongo and Piusu. They are responsible for the birthing of the generation of Tiv people, past and present and future. The Idoma situation is not like that. So Idoma actually is not a dialect. Idoma is not a language. Idoma is a cosmopolitan arrangement or a confederacy of people who share common geographical identity. That arrangement was made by the colonial masters for ease of administration, where the Benue South was a combination of 22 districts that includes the Akpoto, who inhabit local governments like a large part of Otukpo, Ohimini, Apa, Agatu, Ado, Okpoko, Ogbadibo. Those are the Akpotos. And then another ethnic group known as the Ufia that inhabit Utonkon area today. You have a third ethnic group known as the Akweyas. They inhabit the Akpa region or Akpa area of Otukpo local government. And then you have finally the Igedes who inhabit Oju and Obi local government today. It is that historical administrative arrangement that bound these people group together, irrespective of their differences in dialects. And the elders and the fathers of these people group or languages agreed to enter into that confederacy willingly. And they also submitted to a common chieftaincy rule or traditional authority or stool that was rotated from one of the people group to the other. Beginning with the first Ochidoma, Ogrioko, who was an Akpoto person from the Otukpo area, Adoka specifically. He was the first Ochidoma from the 40s. And then, upon his hunting expedition, the stool rotated to the Igede district, where Abraham Ajene Okabi, His Royal Highness, became Ochidoma. And for 32 years, he was Ochidoma. When he went hunting, the next one was Edwin Obu. Chief Edwin Obu was from the Ufia stock of Utonkon area. He became Ochidoma after Abraham Ajene Okabi. And when he went hunting, Elias Ikoyi Obepa of the Akpoto stock succeeded him as Ochidoma. And then the current Ochidoma, His Royal Majesty Agabaidu John Elaibu Odogbo Obagaji, succeeded Elias Ikoyi Obepa as Ochidoma, the fifth Ochidoma. Ladies and gentlemen, based on these historical antecedents, Igedes agreed to enter into that charter or confederacy willingly, just like the Ufia and the Akweya and the Akpoto also agreed to enter that confederacy or cosmopolitan arrangement willingly. And it is usual that when a new Ochidoma is enthroned, earth from the 22 districts and a piece of bead from the beaded chiefs of these 22 districts, including the Igede area, are brought to the palace in Otukpo, that is the seat of the native authority and the stool of the Ochidoma. That was the show of their